Hey! Okay, I'm going to show you guys today. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I've done a big straight hair tutorial and I did it down the middle, so it was a middle part. So today I'm going to show you how to get that same big straight hair, but I'm going to do it with a side part. So I hope you learn some things today and learn how to get that big straight hair. So the first thing is I've started off with my hair already, you know, blow dried. So I just washed it, I blow dried it, and I used the same technique that I use in my other blow dry video, which I'm gonna try to get a new blow dry video up too soon. So it's all blow dried. Now when I did blow dry it, I am going to actually part my hair on this side, but as you can see, I blow dried it all this direction because this is how you're gonna get the most volume. So now that I'm going to start styling, I'm gonna take, and you can see, look at how flat it is over here because I blow dried it all that direction. But then when I take it and take my part and flip it over, look at the volume that already has, right? Let me step back so you can see that. Makes a huge difference in your volume just in the way that you blow dry. So keep that in mind. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start off in sections. I always do my hair in sections. It doesn't matter if I do it straight, if I do it curly, I always do it in sections. So I'm just gonna part this top section off here and get that out of the way. I'm just using a clip right now. These are great clips. There's lots out there, but they have these teeth in them, which helps too. So if you have really thick hair and you have a hard time getting clips to hold, those work really good. I will try to link a lot of these products down below in my description. So if you are interested in any of those, you can check them out there. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, so I have my flat iron here, and this is the Durachi. Lots of people ask me all the time what kind of flat irons I recommend, and it all kind of depends on your hair texture and your hair type. But I do always recommend one that has a temperature control. So as long as you have a temperature control to where you can actually control the temperature, that's the most important part, because everybody's hair is different and everybody's hair will require a different temperature on their hair. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just flat ironing. Now this front section, as you can see, I am going to take that front section and I'm going to start at the root, and I'm going to kind of slightly round it down to have just a little bit more of a straighter kind of curled in edge there. So when I say round it down, I'm going to explain that to you, because a lot of people make this mistake with the flat iron where they take the hair right here and they just pull. I'm going to get close so you can see. They just pull straight down. That's what most people do with the flat iron. You don't want to do that. So what you actually want to do is take the hair, and we're going to create shape in the hair starting at the top. So instead of pulling it straight down like this, I'm actually going to go in kind of like this at an angle, and I'm going to almost just slightly draw a half circle with my flat iron. So starting with the hair clamped in there, kind of twisted in at the roots, so not like this, but like this. And then as I move it down through the hair, I'm gonna draw a half circle here, because you want most of your curl to be from here to here, and then you want the ends, that's what's gonna create that shape to where it comes into the face here, and then the ends, we're just gonna do those straight. So now with my haircut, because it's a little bit shorter in the back than it is in the front, I like this back part to just kind of be straight or slightly flipped out, because no matter where it sits right here on my neckline, it's gonna naturally want to flip out, just because it's where my shoulders are, right? So it's gonna flip out. So I'm just taking and kind of following that natural shape of where the hair is gonna lay. So tight here, and it kind of comes out here. Sugar. Sorry, that's my dog. I don't know what he's chewing on, a bone probably. Okay, so then flat, straight that way. Now I'm gonna switch sides and just flat iron and kind of, so the front section, I've gone in towards my face. When I say the front, I mean basically the ears forward is all going more down and round and in towards my face. And then everything else is just gonna go straight with a slight, I'm not really flipping it at the ends, I'm just kind of following the natural curve of my shoulders. Now, if you have long hair or longer hair than this, you can absolutely still do the same technique, you just keep going down. So if you would start here, and if you want more of a round shape, you can follow it all the way down to where your hair length is, or if you want it more of a flat shape, then you can go through here and then kind of round it out. So you just follow your hair pattern and where that's at. Okay, so I've got that done. Now, the next section, so I'm not gonna back comb any in this section, just that very first section, which is basically kind of my eyebrows, where my eyebrows are, maybe a titch above and below, just because that's all underneath and we don't need to really worry about that one. So this next section, we will do some back combing. So I'm gonna take another section. Now my section here is gonna get a little bit smaller because I'm gonna back comb. So now we're gonna follow around the head. I'm gonna start at the roots. I'm gonna lift that hair up and I'm gonna back comb right at the root. So let me try to get in here so you can see. So I'm gonna lift the hair up, straight up. I'm not gonna back comb down here. I'm not gonna back comb right here. I'm gonna, or under here. I'm gonna lift it straight up from the head. I'm gonna stick my comb. I just use a fine tooth comb here. I will also link this in the description below. Fine tooth comb right here, and I stick it in about 3 inches above my hair. So about 3 inches above my hair right here. Back comb 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just kind of push it in tight. So you're literally creating just like a 1/2 inch back combing section right here of a nice tight back comb. That's it. We're not ratting all the way up the hair, okay? Then I'm gonna spray with my Aveda Air Control hairspray. I love this hairspray for holding your back combing in. It's super lightweight, so it's not gonna weigh the hair down at all, but it really will hold that back combing in so much better than anything else I've ever used. So back comb and spray. We're gonna follow this same technique all the way around the head. Now that we've got that all done, back combed, now we're gonna go right back in, starting where we started at, and I'm going to flat iron right at the root, drawing that same circle that I did down here in the front. So starting right up here, clamping it in at the root, and rounding it out to create that shape. So what you're doing here is that actually, because of the hairspray, and then if you get a little too curled down here, you can just kind of straighten it out with your flat iron. So because of that hairspray, it kind of hardens up a little bit right at the root where the hairspray is, and then holds that back combing in. So you're actually kind of back combing it right over, flat ironing right over that section where you just back comb and spray. And I'm gonna do that all the way around my head. So I'm going to start in the back. This is a trick. So when you flat iron and you round it like so, and the hair is still hot, see how I'm kind of holding it in that shape? I kind of cup the hair and I hold it in the shape that I want it as it cools. That is also going to create, see that? That's going to help with the shape of the hair. That's kind of a cool trick I learned like years ago. So when the hair's still hot, you can still shape it even though you're not flat ironing it or you're not curling it. So that's pretty awesome, right? Okay. Ta-da! We got those ones done. Next section. I'm actually just gonna do the back section now. So I hit about kind of like that top part of my head, and now I'm just gonna do the back section before I start working into the sides. So doing the exact same thing as I've been doing, we are going to hold the hair straight up. Again, not down here, straight up from the head, and you're going to go in and back comb. 1, 2, 3, 4, push it in tight, and spray. Now I'm gonna do the next section. I'm not gonna flat iron it yet, but I will, because I want that hairspray to dry before I flat iron it so that we don't cause damage to the hair by flat ironing wet hairspray. You never want to apply heat to wet products at all. End of story. No exceptions. No heat to any wet hair or wet product, unless it's a blow dryer. So you can just see I'm just taking sections and I'm back combing all of them back, okay? So I've got that whole top section here where I've back combed right at the roots. And now that a lot of those have dried, you can go back in and flat iron a little bit if needed, right at the root. So I'm not really even flat ironing the ends here. All I'm really doing is focusing on that root, just so that I can seal in that back combing, seal in the back combing, and we'll go back and touch up the ends. Okay, so that back part, I always kind of envision right here where my hair is gonna lay. So when my hair is all styled, what's gonna come back, where is it gonna go to the side, where's it gonna go to this side, and that's how I back comb it. So this whole back section, that's about where it breaks and that hair goes back. So now that I've got, and for me, and this will be different for everybody depending on your head shape, but for me, it's kind of like almost, it's back, maybe not quite halfway to my head. So I would say that this is like the halfway point, the middle of my head, so it's just a little bit further back from that. Okay, now we're gonna move to the side. So now, reminding you, I'm actually gonna part my hair off to this side, right? But I'm not, so I'm gonna work from this side, over to this side, to lay over there. So now I'm gonna take a section right here, doing the exact same thing, back comb, holding it straight up, again, not down here, right up here, straight up, back comb, real tight, and spray. Okay, now I've gotten all the way over to this section right here. All the back combing is done inside here. Now this part I am gonna flip over, but I don't wanna back comb this because I don't necessarily wanna see a whole bunch of back combing right here in my part. So wherever you're gonna part your hair, leave, about a 1/2 inch section deep of where you part your hair so that it lays over your back combing. Now I'm going to go back in and flat iron the root. So starting at the root, so I'm gonna show you here because it's close. So holding the hair out from the head, same as back combing. You're not gonna go down here, you're gonna hold the hair straight out from the head and you're going to clamp it at the root, not super tight, just kind of lightly clamp, and then you're drawing your half circle here, and as the hair is cooling, you're gonna hold it in your hand to the shape that you want it. Next section. And you're gonna follow that through till I get to the top. Okay, now we're going to do the bangs. Now this part is pretty important for maintaining that lift in the front. So right here in the front, I have my little bangs that I've cut. I'm gonna leave those, and those actually help give you volume in your bang area. So I'm gonna clamp, so okay, reminder. I can't reiterate this enough. I actually need to part my hair on this side, but you can see I'm pulling all of my hair over this direction, and then the last minute we're gonna flip it over this way, and that is gonna be where the volume comes from. So right at the root, I'm just lightly flat ironing. You can see how quick I just went. I just went really fast, and I'm pulling it all in the opposite direction that the hair is gonna lay. And I take it on a diagonal part. So we're on a diagonal part here, opposite of where it's gonna lay. And see how I'm rounding it? I'm doing the same thing. I'm starting up here and I'm rounding it down this way. So I'm drawing my half circle, rounding it down, and then flatter ends. Okay, right at the root, sections. Now we're gonna flip it. So now that it's cool, it's cool. But my hair, now that my hair is all nice and cool, I'm gonna take my comb and I'm gonna establish where I want my part to be. And then we're gonna flip it over, just like so, okay? So see how that gives you all that lift right there, right in the front? And I kind of always work with my part a little bit to where I want it to be. Okay, so now, we're just gonna go in and I'm gonna back comb right here because I want just a little bit more lift, just a couple little back combs, spray, because I haven't done this side yet technically, because I started working from that side over. Spray. Okay. Now, if you would like a little more lift right here in the front, or just to know that it's going to hold, one of the final things that I will do is go in at a diagonal right here and push with my fingers, and then I'm going to lift this up and I'm just going to back comb just a little bit right there at the root and spray it, and this is just going to hold it so that it's not like flopping in my face all day, because that drives me crazy when your hair is constantly in your eyeballs, right? Then just kind of go through and smooth out so you can't really see any of the back combing. I just use my fingers and kind of smooth it out. Now here's then where you can go through and kind of final touch. So for me, products, okay, the Pure Abundance, the Aveda Pure Abundance Potion right here, absolute, one of my faves, can't live without. This is a powder, and when you sprinkle it on, it melts to a liquid, and this really does maintain your style, like, and you can already see what that's doing to my hair, right? So when I put that product in there and then I fluff it up, it actually stays. So it creates a little bit of grip and a little bit of texture to the hair, so that when you do back comb it and you do try to, push it back up, it stays. It's magic. It's magic. Hey, what you doing? Get out of here. Okay. No. He's so naughty. Okay. That's Ruger, by the way. He pretty much makes his appearance in all of my videos because he knows I'm doing something that he's not involved in and he wants to be involved in. Okay, I've got that in, all done, right? Shape is good. He's in the tub, no worries. Now we're gonna spray. This is my favorite hairspray for holding. It's the Aveda Control Force, right there. The Aveda Control Force hairspray. This helps, it's a really strong hold aerosol hairspray, So it helps to hold, I spray it up underneath here, and it helps hold these little bangs and these hairs kind of up out of my face. So I hold the hair up. Hey, no. Sorry. So I hold the hair up where I want it, and then I just tilt my can so that it's coming in at an angle under here, and we're just gonna spray that just up underneath, and then I just kind of shape it with my hand here where I want it, and then that also just helps hold it in place, and like I said, kind of keeps those little bangs out of the way. And then I finish with the Strong Hold. This is the Aveda Fermata hairspray. I love this one too. So I just finished with this. It's a wet hairspray, so I feel like I like wet hairsprays to hold and separate. People ask me all the time, you know, how do you get that piecey texture in your hair? It's this hairspray. I don't use any piecing, like manipulating textures or paste or anything like that to create texture. I just use this hairspray. So that's all it is. And then this will kind of help hold that hair all day long. So there we go. I hope you learned how to get you some nice, big, voluminous, straight hair today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can subscribe up here, and if you have, I will link all the products below, so if you're interested in any of these two, you can check those out down below. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day.